I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of February 1st, 2017. Happy New Comic Book Day. We're coming to you from Alter Ego Comics in Lima, Ohio. The best comic shop in all the land, or at least in all of the Heartland.
Lima Land.
Lima Land, yes. Every week we read a bunch of new comics on Tuesday night, and we come back Wednesday morning, shoot this video, and tell you what we like the best. Hopefully encouraging you to go out and buy comics that are awesome. So, first up for me, there was a lot of awesome this week. A lot of crossover between Josh's picks and mine. But my pick of the week is going to be Hawkeye number 3 by Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romero. This is The Hate for Kate Escalates. This series has been awesome from the get-go, from issue number 1. Just a fantastic read. The dialogue is great. The little Kate-isms that are in here are great. The supporting cast grows on you very quickly. We were only 3 issues in, and we've already got kind of a supporting Scooby Gang, as Kate refers to them. And it's different than anything else out there right now. It's not superhero-y necessarily. It's very street level. Kate doesn't have any powers. She's just an expert markswoman. And very Veronica Mars-esque, which we've talked about before. We're basically investigating a college student who's gone missing, possibly kidnapped by a pseudo-cult called the TBC. JTP. The TBC, I don't remember what it stands for. Take Back Control. I don't know what they're taking back control from. Do you remember? Take Back the Night. Take Back Control, who are apparently drugging people with stickers or turning them into human radios or something when you put the sticker on. But the selling point in this is the writing. Kelly Thompson's doing an amazing job writing Kate Bishop, who is one of the best new Marvel characters. That whole Young Avengers crew. Mm-hmm. Although what happened to Patriot or Super Patriot?
He was depowered and then he was hooked on super soldier drugs.
Super
and
smack.
I think he's just being a normal person now, living his life.
Okay, because we don't have everybody from the Young Avengers still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our Vision is the Young Avengers Vision, basically. He got his brain rebooted into that Vision's body and absorbed both personalities. So really, Patriot's
so
the
this
only
is a good
one.
time to put another plug in to go back and read Alan Heinberg and what's his face's the guy doing Clone Conspiracy, Jimmy Chung's Young Avengers. Hawkeye number 3, about as much fun as you can have reading comics this week. Unless it's
Unstoppable Wasp number 2, which is my pick of the week. Written by Jeremy Whitley with art by Elsa Chartier, or Cartier possibly. And this is just immensely fun. There's a joy just piling and steaming off this book. It's amazing. Again, we get Nadia trying to acclimate herself to life in the U.S., to life outside a Russian room where they turn you into a super weapon or a super brain weapon. We get appearances by Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and of course everyone's favorite Avengers butler, Jarvis, who is always priceless in his sort of just dry... His reaction to the bizarreness of his life is amazing to me. We also get... Nadia has started hunting down the genius girls that she's going to use to form her own team of super genius ladies to advance society and make the world a better place. And just really fun and funny and laugh out loud, just great book. Yeah.
I know, I can think of, as I was reading it, I thought of at least a half dozen young girls that I could recommend this to, or parents of young girls who, and just be like, here, read this. You know, you're a proponent of the STEM initiative, of STEM programs, read this, give this to your daughters.
A cool backup where they interview a couple of women in science and ask questions about, what it's like and stuff like that.
This deserves more love than it's getting, folks. Yes. Unstoppable Wasp is awesome.
Top notch. And that is part of, between Kate and Wasp, we've also got a Young Marvel Heroes awesome week. Most of the best books that came out this week were Young Marvel Heroes. We've also got Nova 3 featuring Cosmo, everyone's favorite space dog. And we find out that Richard Rider did come back from the dead, but he didn't come back quite the way we expected. And also, you may miss it this week because it's got a giant Gwenpool on the cover.
I missed it.
Champions number 5 by Mark Waid and Humberto Ramos is great. Yes, so look past the giant Gwenpool. Gwen is in it, and Gwen is actually really good and an important part of the story. But this story is also just important in our time and place. The whole driving force behind the Champions is people doing better and not punching down. And this takes it to a very relatable level in the current atmosphere.
Wish I would have read it. Thanks, Marvel. Marvel Marketing needs some help with your cover. Paper Girls number 11 is next on my list, and this is almost always on our list. This won so many awards last year. This was, wait a minute, wait for it. Is it in the back? There it is. Winner of the Best New Series Eisner Award in 2016, Best Artist Cliff Chiang in 2016 Eisner Award, and the Best New Series 2016 Harvey Award. Paper Girls is a little bit of a slow burn. It's one you have to give time to, but the characters are immediately engaging, and you care about them, and you want to see what happens to them. We've got a quartet of newspaper girls from circa 1988 that have been transported throughout time. They spend some time in 88 in the beginning, and then they go to the future, and some of them meet their future selves, and now we're back in the past.
I was say their future is our present.
Their future is our present, 2016. Yeah, I'm all confused now. And now we are in the distant past of many, many years ago. I have it here
5,000 BC, something like that.
Yeah, 11,706 BCE. If you haven't tried Paper Girls, you need to do it. You need to pick up the first trade. It's only $9.99. I may as well pick up second trade too, because you're going to like it. And then jump into the series. Now, is this the first issue after the second trade?
It is, I believe.
Okay, so this is a great jumping on point. Not enough good things to say about Paper Girls. Brian K. Vaughan, Cliff Chiang, knocking it out of the park every month or whenever they publish. All right.
And next up for me is Batman number 16. This is the first part of I Am Bane. It's no secret that Mark and I both loved the first arc of this by Tom King, which was I Am Gotham, and the second arc was a little uneven. I Am Suicide, but I think the longer the series goes on, the next arc was what, I Am the Night, or I Am Rooftops. Rooftops
was
a two-parter. And in this one, both in that story and this story, the things that happened in I Am Suicide are important. So as it goes on, I actually like I Am Suicide more retroactively because of things it's putting into the continuity. But this is Bruce back in Gotham preparing for Bane to come and try and take back Psycho Pirate. And it's a really interesting dynamic. You've got Batman doing what Batman always does, which tells all of the people he loves to get the heck away from him because he's dangerous and he doesn't want them to get killed. And the people he loves include a bunch of young boys that he's that he's trained to fight crime, so they are totally not going to listen to him, and a stubborn old Englishman with a mustache. And I really like the dynamic, because really, with the exception of stealing Psycho Pirate away, because Bane didn't make Psycho Pirate make Gotham Girl crazy, did he? That was I don't think that was the case.
I didn't take that away from it, but
but I'm saying that Bane wasn't the driving force. Bane's just the one that took Psycho Pirate.
Right.
So, and Bane was using Psycho Pirate to keep himself clean from the Venom. So in a way, Bane wasn't really doing anything. I mean, he was keeping Psycho Pirate prison, but so was Bruce, for that matter, in Arkham Asylum. So, I don't know. I just think it's a really interesting dynamic where there are bad guys, but there's not necessarily an obvious, failing. And I think making Bane menacing again is super important to the Batman mythos. And it was I just smiled seeing all of the living Robins together. Was really cool.
And for those of you that follow artists on books, David Finch is back on art duties with this issue. So he was the artist on I Am Gotham and then took a break for a little bit. Man, I am loving Planet of the Apes. That is all. We have a new crossover between Boom and DC Comics. Planet of the Apes Green Lantern, number 1 of 6. This is written by Robbie Thompson. A plotted story by Robbie Thompson. Writer is Justin Jordan of that Image book.
Yep, the Strange Tales of Luther
Strode. Yes, of Luther Strode fame. Artist is by Barnaby Bagenda.
Respect.
If that is your real name. So, what can I tell you? Cornelius the Ape of Planet of the Apes fame finds a power ring. And there is universe mixing. We start out in 2 different worlds, the Planet of the Apes world of the original movies.
Right, between 1 and 2?
Between 1 and 2. So Taylor is missing, Cornelius finds Nova wandering around, and then he finds this power ring cut to present-day Earth of the Green Lantern universe, and Sinestro has been cooking up some evil. He ends up doing battle with Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, and then by some weird freak of Green Lantern ringery, we end up with Hal and Sinestro being transported to the Planet of the Apes world, and it's just so fun. It's a great book to look at. It's a great book to read. Really enjoying these Green Lantern and Planet of the Apes crossovers. We had Planet of the Apes Star Trek last year. We have had 2 series of Green Lantern Star Trek, and now we have Planet of the Apes Green Lantern. And these are good crossovers. If you remember the 90s, there were some really horrendous crossovers, but these are very well thought out and written by fans, you can tell.
So you think we're heading towards a Green Lantern Star Trek Planet of the Apes? You know?
I would so buy it, and that's published just for me. So I'd like to thank.
Well, that would be 3 publishers too.
Thank
so that would be
you
tricky.
to Ross Ritchie and whoever is pulling the strings to make that happen. I would buy the heck out of that book.
And last up for me this week in the main books, I've got Civil War 2, The Oath number 1, which is a one-shot. This actually came out last week. We got a little bogged down in the shop implementing our new point-of-sale system and weren't able to shoot a video, but I wanted you to know about this. If you're reading Civil War 2 at all, you want to read this. It wraps up everything and kind of shows you where everyone's at emotionally. But if you're reading any of Nick Spencer's Captain America books, Sam Wilson or Steve Rogers, you definitely want to check it out because last week's Steve Rogers basically segues right into the events of this book. It's written by Nick Spencer. It's art by Rod Rice, and it is important. It's really, really good, and it sets the stage for the next big chunk. I don't know if it's just of the Spencer Captain America verse books or if it's wide, but it's definitely setting up things that are coming in the Marvel Universe, and it's doing a great job of it.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Well, they've already announced that
Secret.
Is it Secret Empire? Yeah, Secret Empire is going to be a crossover event, but as Josh said, it remains to be seen whether it's contained within a certain number of books or Marvel Universe wide.
But yeah, so if you remember was it Fallen Sun? What was the issue after
Yeah,
the original where Tony sat and talked to Steve's body? This is kind of the other side of that conversation in the current status, where Steve is evil and Tony's in a cyber coma, and evil might not be right. Steve is Hydra, but definitely worth your time to check out Civil War 2: The Oath.
A couple other books to be aware of. Well, first off, Old Man Logan 17 is out this week and continues the excellent befuddled Old Man Logan story of am I in space fighting Brood with Puck, or am I in the wastelands trying to find Banner's grandson fighting Kang? And we still kind of sort of don't know, but it's an awesome book. And then last but not least, a book you should definitely be aware of, Darth Maul number 1 is out this week by Cullen Bunn and Luke Ross, and this takes place prior to The Phantom Menace, and shows us the relationship between Sidious and Maul and what Maul is doing. He's biding his time before he can go and kill him some Jedi.
There's Rathars.
There are Rathars, so there's some consistency in what we saw in The Force Awakens. Were Rathars around prior to The Force Awakens?
I don't remember them being around, no.
Okay.
They look like a J.J. Abrams monster, so.
They do, yeah. Luke Ross does a stellar job on artwork on this, and if you're a Darth Maul fan, it's a can't miss.
Also out this week and last week, both, giving you all the goodness you can handle. Star Wars 27 last week, 28 this week, written by Jason Aaron, art by Salvador Larroca. This continues the story of Luke reading the journal of Obi-Wan, telling a story of Yoda, and I love every part of that.
It's great. It's great. Was that it on your also rants? Do you have any other ones?
Yeah, that was it pretty much.
Okay.
It was a fairly light week.
It's a somewhat light week, but lots of good stuff that you can go to your local comic shop and check out. So we urge you to do that. We do want you to give us a thumbs up on the video if you liked it. That helps more people discover comics that are awesome. And hit the subscribe button so that you stay in the know whenever we upload a new video. We're also going to include a link where you can continue the conversation with us to our Comics Are Awesome private Facebook group. And we've got some other fun stuff brewing that we'll be sharing relatively soon. So, as always, we appreciate you watching. If you do have anything to add, questions, comments, please let us know in the comments below. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you soon.